This is the 10th video in this commentary on the book of Job. In the book of Job, the young Elihu is not mentioned until chapter 32, well after the three friends stop speaking and immediately right before the Lord appears in the whirlwind. Job had resoundingly rejected the temptations of the three friends. In the face of Job's resolute steadfastness to hold on to his integrity, the three friends go silent. Job ends by reasserting his integrity, and it is stated, "The words of Job are ended. It is then Elihu speaks." He was angry at Job and the three friends. Notably, his anger is described using the same Hebrew word for angry that is generally used when speaking of God's anger. He was angry at Job for sinning with his lips, going in with evil men, saying there is no profit in serving God. Elihu was angry at the three friends because they had not found a persuasive argument that would turn Job from sinning with his lips. Elihu is truly exceptional. His is the only Hebrew name in the book of Job. His name is translated as, "He is my God," and its Hebrew spelling is identical to God's prophet Elijah, except for an added Hebrew letter aleph at the end. He is the only person in the book of Job whose ancestry is described. His father's name was Barachel, translated, "Bless God." In 7 rhetorical questions during his discourse, Elihu sings and trumpets of the awesomeness of God. His 7 rhetorical questions, together with his name and his father's name, could easily be summed up with one rhetorical, joy-filled question: who is like God? In fact, a subtitle for the book of Job, no, it should be said the book of man, should be, who is like God? Elihu is there to correct Job and call him back to unequivocal, steadfast reverence for God. Elihu says his words are inspired by God. He states his words are not false, that one who is perfect in knowledge is with him, using the same word perfect that a short time later he uses to describe God. Elihu states that he was there to justify Job, for Job had erred in calling God to account for his adversities. Elihu asked Job why he contends against God, saying God will answer none of his words. Elihu asked, what man is like Job, who goes in the company of wicked men, saying with his lips, it profits a man nothing that he should take delight in God? Elihu stands opposed to the disposition and character of the mercenary, singing that God is so great he should always be praised and never be accused or called to account. It is we who owe God praise always, not God who owes us payments for serving him. Elihu is the only one who tells Job, as Job is sitting in ashes on the ground, that God has provided him rich food. Elihu rejects the arguments of the three friends, but notably, he does not rebuke the three friends, only their arguments. This is somewhat akin to the angel of the Lord in the book of Zechariah, who does not presume to rebuke Satan, but calls upon the Lord to rebuke him. It was Elihu who tells Job to stand, using the same Hebrew word used when describing all those standing before the Lord at the heavenly assemblies in the first 2 chapters. There was no need for the Lord to tell Job to stand, since he was already standing at Elihu's words. Elihu speaks to Job, calling him by his name, Job. Elihu is the only one in the book to speak to Job by calling on Job by his name. Elihu speaks to Job of a defending angel, one among many spirits who declares what is right for him, delivering him from going down into the pit, just as Elihu is trumpeting what is right for Job, to always reverence God. It is Elihu who provides the pithy, one-verse response that everyone has been looking for throughout the centuries, concerning the meaning of suffering. His answer provides 3 reasons for suffering that resolve a persistent conundrum about the book of Job. The general message of the book of Job, that a righteous man may suffer great adversities, seems to stand opposed to the often repeated principle in the first 5 books of Scripture and the prophets regarding divine blessings and curses. Both the Torah and the prophets teach God rewards Israel for its steadfastness, but will punish their rebellion. This message seems to be opposed to the book of Job, where the righteous man underwent excruciating adversities despite being blameless. So, to many it seems the Torah speaks of justice, while by comparison, the book of Job seems to deal with injustice. Injustice in the sense that the righteous man may still suffer excruciating adversities even having done no wrong. It is a real conundrum. It is Elihu who resolves this conundrum. This resolution will be discussed in the next video, the 11th video. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. For who is like God?